from the spacious studios at 10 Columbus Boulevard, here's Rob Dibble.
Oh, we're back home for the first time in about a week and a half. Wow. It's the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell. Thank you so much for tuning in while we were at the Travelers for 7 days. But we appreciate CBS allowing us to use that audio of Keegan Bradley's win. So the dude doesn't make the U.S. Open cut. He goes putt-putting with his kids, gets with his swing coach, and he shoots a 23 under. And really, he backed into the championship. 62, 63, 64, and then a 68 was his highest round of the weekend. He gets $3.6 million, and more importantly, 500 FedEx points, puts him in the top 5 in PGA right now. So that's some of the most important news from Keegan Bradley, and just getting it together. And the Vermont guy that went to UMass, and obviously he's got so much stuff going on. Or did he go to? He went to St. John's. I apologize.
Lived in Massachusetts for a while.
Right, lived in Massachusetts. But listen, anybody can shoot that well for 4 days. And that's why golf is such a mystery, because you can go from the U.S. Open or winning the Masters or winning some of these other tournaments to missing a cut, having a bad 2 days, you missed the cut, and you could be 4 under. That was the lowest it's been in years. So I think it's a testament to everybody. Patrick Cantlay put on a show yesterday. Harmon and Blair, they shot up the leaderboard, and with a 64 and a 62 respectively. And I think that a lot of that were the conditions. A little bit of rain on Saturday, humidity yesterday. Guys were still sticking the greens. I thought it was a great finish. But more importantly, after I got done coaching my doubleheader in baseball and got home probably about 4:30, watched the rest of it on television. Andy Bissett, Nathan Groove, and everybody, the groundskeepers, the people that build out the Travelers, that's as good as any golf course I've ever seen.
I agree.
In 20 years look. And so you should all be congratulated on the presentation worldwide of what Connecticut can offer, a tournament. So I was very proud to be a Connecticut person yesterday, watching the finale. And it was fantastic. The crowd, which you were in, and just the way they follow these golfers. They're rabid for these golfers, and they're just amazing fans. And this is Yankees, Red Sox, Mets fans, Giants, Jets, Patriots. I mean, that's what I feel we represent here on the Rob Dibble Show. And you people should be applauded, because what you prove is that you could support any pro team. I don't care if it's hockey, basketball, football. If a pro sport came here, you would support it like that. And I believe you could do it. So you do it once a year at the Travelers, but very proud of what the Travelers means to this state.
So true, man. And I think you said it just in order. There's so much congratulations to go around. I'm really happy for Keegan Bradley, a guy who really wanted to win this particular tournament. And you could see when that putt finally went in on 18, it was a relief to finally get this checked off in his career. Awesome finish. He really kicked butt in the front 9 to separate himself from everyone else, especially his playing partner on Sunday, Ches Reavie. He got up to about a 7-stroke lead on Ches and 5-stroke lead to just chill and kind of coast through the rest of the back 9. Kind of gave some cracks in the door for Cantlay or maybe someone else to slip in there, but nobody could take advantage. Cantlay missed a couple of putts there, 15, 16, 17, 18, that really spelled his demise and dropped him down the leaderboard. Forget about actually winning the tournament. Ches could never really get it together like he did the first 3 days. And Keegan just played some pretty decent golf. I think they're on 11, standing right next to him as he hits this 140-yard chip on a par 3, probably about 4 foot away. It was like he was throwing darts. He was in a zone for a little while. Fell apart there on 13, 14, went to the drink trying to put one deep on a par 5, then fell really short on 14. but then had enough to make it happen and win by 3 and get a humongous check. And you're so right about Andy Bissett, Nathan Grube, and anyone that was wearing a Traveler's logo, whether you were security, whether you were a volunteer. Everything was top notch. Right. Everything was done to perfection. You had to deal with some weather. Grounds crew, bravo. Dibs is right. It looked better than Augusta on television. Better than Augusta. Awesome. But the fans deserve some credit as well. Had to be 100,000 there yesterday. And with the weather that was throwing a lot of people off.
Well, I mean, if you listen to the weather people, they said 80% thunderstorms. It's going to be miserable. You had none of that.
Yard Goats canceled. Yard Goats got some of the cells that hit directly. I thought there was a little bit of luck, but also a lot of preparation that made everything.
We got no rain in my baseball games.
We got lucky.
Beautiful.
We got lucky for that, and it just hats off to everybody who showed up and did their thing. Whether you're just somebody there taking it in and cheering, I thought that it was a very respectful crowd. It was rowdy at times when it should have been rowdy at times. And it was also definitely quiet when it needed to be quiet. So it was a perfect situation for the weekend. And I'm super proud of everybody that represents our state and represents the Travelers Championship. Over $3 million to charity again. Just nothing but positivity coming out of the weekend at TPC River Highlands.
Brian Harmon gave it a run. Other than the bogey on 5, he had 7 birdies on the day. Like you talked about with Keegan Bradley, he had 3 bogeys on the back 9.
Yeah.
And then he had to par those 4 holes in between and at the finish, but to win by 3. But Harmon pushed him. And I think that's the kind of stuff that helps you. Zach Blair. He had 8 birdies, an eagle, but it was really the 2 bogeys, or else there might have been a playoff. If that guy, if he just even pars those 2 holes, it's a one-stroke lead, going into the back 9, and that would have been fun to watch. So give these guys credit, man. There's no quit in golf. Even though we feel awful that Ches Reavie didn't finish in the top 2. And he kind of fell out of some big money. He still got an $842,000 check with Cantlay. They split second place between Harmon and Blair. Still amazing. 1.8 and 1.8. Great paydays for those 2 cats. But more importantly, huge amount of FedEx points to be in the top 3. That's the big thing for you when you're playing at the Travelers. And so I didn't hear this. So tell me what Rory McIlroy said.
That the Travelers TPC River Highlands may have become obsolete due to the technology of golf, thinking that the course is easy to play these days, and it was a record number for Keegan Bradley. Now, I talked to Bob Joyce about this late yesterday, and just thinking when we showed up to the course, it was minus 21 versus minus 20. The best score was minus 19 the previous year, or 2 previous years ago with Harris English. So, there's something to say about that. I wish it was even easier. I'm a fan of seeing big time scores that go up there. And my question to Rory is, what was your problem, man?
Right.
I mean, you didn't win this thing. It wasn't that easy, was it? What does John Rahm think about that comment? He didn't even make the cut.
Nope. Or Tommy Fleetwood, or a lot of these other cats that Hostler, all these guys that didn't make the cut. Streelman, who's always in the top here at Travelers. Listen, it can happen to anybody. And you can get hot, and I think there was about 5 guys that were really hot for the whole weekend, but not everybody, and even the one day where Ricky Fowler was on fire. Right. So, that pulled him from like the bottom 20, 30 guys to up in the top 10, and gave him a nice payday. But the bottom line is, I think that's a tough course. I think for a short course where you're thinking, and listen, on the West Coast, and I lived out there for more than a decade, a lot of short courses. But there's a lot of hills, and it's very difficult to stick the greens. And even though it's more for older people to golf there because you're in either retirement or very wealthy, that's the way they want it. And so just to knock this course because there's low scores, that's what brings in a lot of these guys after the U.S. Open. They make the U.S. Open so hard, You're so frustrated. Why wouldn't you want a little relief from that in your next tournament, plus huge winnings? I mean, hey, listen, let's compare some stuff. Fenway, Wrigley, some of these places that you walk in there and you're like, oh, look at that wall. Look at that left field. It's 310 down left field. It's a 39-foot green monster. But, hey, I'll just chip shot it over. It's not an easy place to play or hit. And so many guys get psyched out. Not easy to hit at Yankee Stadium. Not easy to hit at Dodger Stadium. Some of these places where you go in, you're like, this is going to be amazing. I'm gonna have a field day. So I just think that's, it's don't trash the Travelers because you think that a minus 20 means that the course is easy. I think these guys get psyched up for it because they're coming off of a miserable weekend. Like Keegan Bradley. Tell that to Keegan Bradley.
Yeah.
Guy who missed the cut at the U.S. Open, and he's home at mini golf with his kids because he's a good dad. You're going to trash this guy and make it seem like it's not a good win for this guy? I thought it was a great win. I was here when Bubba won it his first time, and then Bubba went on to win the Masters after that. I mean, this was like a slingshot to stardom for a lot of guys. So I just think that's not fair, and it's certainly not fair about the golf course because I think it's a tough course.
Unless you're the winner. If you're the winner and you say that and you win by 20 strokes, like, I got you. Okay, we got to make something harder for you. But if you're not the winner, everybody's playing on the same field right there. If you're talking baseball, we're all using the Monster and Fenway. If you're talking basketball and one of the rims is a little messed up like it was in the NBA Finals and Jokic is trying to make it right, yeah, you have to get that right because one basket can't be easier than the other. But when we're all playing with the same tools and we're all playing the same holes, I think degree of difficulty should go out the window. This course in particular is a tease. It's tempting. It tries to tempt you into going big, and it can screw you up royally if you go big and you mess up. 15 is a perfect example of how this course is all around. Yeah, it's drivable, but if you overdrive it, you're in the water, and now you're trying to chip up for par on a hole that basically sits on a mound, and you can go over, and now all of a sudden you're +6. Keegan Bradley, hole 13. Man, you are licking your lips, licking your chops to hit the biggest ball you possibly can to get an eagle on 13. And then all of a sudden you slice it into the drink and you're just trying to save par. That's the difficulty about TPC River Highlands, is that it is going to tempt you to try to drive it over somebody's house. And if you do it and you make it, it rewards you. But if you don't and you're in their backyard, you're scrambling to save Bogue.
Listen, Rory gets a hole-in-one one day and a double bogey on the same hole the next day. Don't tell me about that it's an easy course or you'd be getting a hole-in-one on every time you play that.
Did he buy you a beer for the hole-in-one? Did he buy the clubhouse beers for a hole?
I'm sure he did.
Did he?
No.
I don't know. I remember Abram Anser got a hole-in-one, and then all of a sudden everybody got some Modelo for free. I'm just saying. It's kind of an unwritten rule that didn't get followed.
Great weekend and a great week, and we'll replay Chris Daly for you next hour. We got Tim Brando coming up, and I'm going to ask him that question if he thinks that the TPC River Highlands or any golf course for that matter is a slam dunk for these guys to just dominate on. But let's get to some college baseball.
Oh yeah!
Over the weekend, you've got the finals. LSU in 11 innings on Saturday takes game 1. They come back thinking, okay, Sunday, we're going to be the national champions. No dice. They get blown out 24-4 yesterday by the Florida Gators. 23 hits. LSU makes 5 errors. Absolutely miserable day for their pitching staff. Everybody that entered that game from LSU gave up at least 1 run. So when you check the box score and you're looking at your ERA go up, you're going, man, those Gators can swing the bat. So who knows? I mean, sometimes it's better to have a blowout like that than a close game loss in extra innings. So we'll see. The finale is tonight at 7 o'clock on ESPN. It's LSU versus Florida for all the marbles in college baseball.
So they scored 9 runs in the 8th and the 9th inning. At the time before that, what are we looking at? 15-3. Any thought of you like, hey, man, easy Florida Gators. Are you really running up the score here? Would you be mad if you're an LSU Tiger going in tonight seeing that 24 on the board?
No, because, listen, the 2 guys that went in there, Little and Dalton, are good pitchers. So, listen, I think they're tired. And I think those guys, I don't want to say that they were sacrificial lambs, that you are saving your best pitchers for this possible third game, which is exactly what I'm sure LSU is doing.
Right.
But Little threw 41 pitches, gave up 4 runs. He got 5 outs. Dutton, he gave up 5 runs and got 3 outs. He threw 42 pitches.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of work. And those guys, even if they do pitch tonight, I don't see that they're going to be in any tight situations, at the end of the ball game. So I'm thinking that these guys were the emergency guys that you're going to use at the end of a game to basically, almost threw 100 pitches between the two dudes. That was to save everybody for tonight. That was the quality guys that'll give them a shot to win a national title.
One of those quality guys. There's 2 situations on the mound today, starting with LSU. Don't know who's going to get the start, but I'm pretty sure you're going to see Mr. Skeens, who is the #1 overall prospect in the Major League Baseball
crazy,
draft.
Man. What, he threw 122 pitches 3 days ago?
Short rest, Dibs. We're talking short rest here.
Would be a bullpen day for most pitchers.
Yeah.
For this guy, you're probably try to get 15 outs from him.
Win right off the bat, right away, starting them.
I don't know. I mean, that's up to their coach. I would think this guy he's going to be so pumped up. I might want to hold him off, but you never know. I mean, this guy's mentality is to start and get the lead for LSU. It could be a whole bullpen game. Everybody throws an inning or two. Who knows? But Florida, if you're Florida, you want to get out to an early lead and try to keep that lead from LSU, and so Skeens won't be a factor in the game.
So we do think we know the starter for the Florida Gators tonight. It will be Jack Cagliano, and what's really great about this guy is not only is he a great pitcher, 33 home runs, Division I record, and he's on the mound.
Damn.
Another Shohei Ohtani, Babe Ruth situation. This guy will probably be a top 5 pick in the Major League Baseball draft. But how about that? You have got to throw the Shohei Ohtani, which I do believe his ERA is under 2. Like, this is no just sacrificial lamb like you say with the LSU guys last night. This dude knows exactly what he's doing on the mound, and he's worth the price of admission at the plate. So this is going to be a very special ball game tonight between LSU and Florida.
I mean, you got a lot of first-rounders playing tonight.
Yeah.
Tommy White's got 24 homers, hitting almost 370, over 100 RBI. I mean, what is that, in 70 games? That's insane.
Yeah.
Dylan Cruz just won the Golden Spikes Award, hit 421 this season, 706 slugging. And,
wow.
And both, like you said, Caniglione, this guy, not only 33 home runs, led his team in RBI like Tommy White. So, I mean, it's just an insane group of talent on both sides of this. And I expect this to be a fight. It's an absolute war now. I mean, you want the championship. You got it to the final game. Someone's going to go home the loser, but someone's going to go home very, very happy tonight.
Storybook programs, both representing the SEC Conference. They will see each other in a 3-game series next year during conference play. There's so much on the line tonight for the College World Series. Really, all college sports will end after this game's done, and then we'll move into football season and start thinking about.
Take a quick break. We'll come back. Tim Brando is from Bayou Country. He is in Louisiana, and this is his stomping grounds. He knows all about LSU baseball, football, etc. Also about golf. He's called golf for 40 years, so we'll talk. Teams and conference schools moving to different conferences that he texted me, so I'll let him tell you about some of that stuff as well. So Tim Brando from Fox Sports joins us next on your afternoon drive with Rob and Ben.